Dr. Dennis Embry, President and Senior Scientist at Paxos Institute. Oh my goodness, my teachers? Well, first, they told me that I was mentally retarded. You know, that's not a good thing to have happen to you. But my first grade teacher didn't believe that. She thought I actually might be rather intelligent. And so she got me out of that school and into another school where I learned all sorts of things. I was studying 4 different languages at once. I was just so excited. So I'm very thankful to Mrs. Lee, who was my first grade teacher. And Mr. Rolfe was my 8th grade science teacher. He was first year teacher, so he was a little, wobbly. But he said, I think you really like science. Would you like to do a science fair exhibit? Now, sometimes teachers are going to ask you about doing something, and you may feel like I was nervous because I grew up in this family with all this chaos, and my parents were in the newspaper, in the police blotter. But Mr. Rolfe said, I'd like you to do this. And I said, well, Mr. Rolfe, I'd love to do the science fair, but I don't have any money. And he said, well, I have this application for you to be a junior scientist with the National Science Foundation. Oh my, the National Science Foundation? That's a really big deal. So he helped me fill that out, and I got a scholarship, and I did my first experiment. A man named Ross Beach Sr. became my advocate, and because of him, I was able to become a U.S. Capitol page, not by the gift of political connections, but by the result of my own energy and passions being noticed and supported by people like Mr. Beach. If I were not doing this, I would run to be a U.S. Senator. I might even run for president. I'd be that bold, because I think it's important that we participate in the political process. I was lucky enough to be a U.S. Capitol page. Now, you might not know what that is, but when I was 16, I lived on my own in Washington, D.C., and I went to high school in the 4th floor of the Library of Congress. So guess what was my school library? The Library of Congress. Nicolas Cage could be so lucky. My genius comes first from going, it's okay to be smart. It's okay to want to learn everything. It's okay to be different. What's really okay is to take care of other people and to make the world a better place. I better my world, and I better myself. We're all new learners. I might be 63, but every day I'm a new learner. You might be 5, you might be 10, you might be 15, you might be 25. Every day we're new learners. That's what it is to be human on this planet. So, to find your passion means that you have to be willing to fall flat on your face. You've got to be willing to stretch yourself and to put yourself out there. Now, the truth is, we're all afraid, well, what if I fail? Well, if you don't do it, you will have failed. If you do it and you win, great. But even if you fail trying it, you're going to get stronger at it to create what it is that you really want. And it may be that what we failed at is in fact the most important teaching opportunity for help guiding us how to do it. I have screwed up on some of the things that I have tried to do. And those things told me, don't do that, because that thing isn't in service of my vision of helping all of the children of this country and maybe the world. So I got up, tried a different design, a different experiment. And remember, the other thing to do is when somebody says you can't learn about all these diverse things, you can only learn about this one thing, that's a person to go find another person to advise you. Because you need people who will make your mind to grow bigger and be able to see a broad horizon of how gorgeous and beautiful the world is. You have to open yourself up so that you can see these things and try them and taste them and look at them, and hear them and feel them and connect them for the great thing that one of you, many of you, are capable of doing, and you just have a glimmer of it, well, go for it. I did, and I don't regret it.